Peace and love always. Hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Good Vibes Only. Today I have the beautiful Carmin Caterina of Lessons for My Daughters here with me. We're gonna have a little conversation and let you guys join in. Can you tell us about Lessons for My Daughter? What is Lessons for My Daughters?
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me on this. This is so amazing. Lessons for My Daughters is an organization that I started basically inspired by my own daughters, and it's an empowerment workshop for young women and girls, and it's an 8-week program. And so far I've shared it in several schools and with different organizations in New York City, and I've also just had the pleasure of turning it into this incredible online program, which has had a global impact, so that's really super exciting.
So that's cool. So if you're online now, before it was just you had to be local, but now, so if you're online anywhere in the world, wherever you are in the world, as long as you have internet, that's all you need, and you can join.
Absolutely.
So that's really cool. I love what she's doing, because I love that you're empowering young women, because that is our future leaders, our future scientists, whatever they're going to be.
Right.
So I think that is important to empower like the younger generation. I was going to ask you, sorry. Just lost my train of thought for a second.
That's okay.
So you said your daughter inspired, well, both of your daughters inspired you to do it. What was there like a specific like event that happened or something that just was like, you know what, this is what I feel like I'm meant to do?
Well, it's actually a conversation that I was having with someone when I was trying to figure out, I mean, I've been in education for many years, but I felt like I needed to do something in a bigger way, and I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and he basically said to me, Carmen, why don't you start recording some videos on what lessons you would leave for your daughters? And just this big light bulb moment happened for me, and I'm like, wow, you know, you're right. I'm going to think about what lessons I've learned in my life that were really profound for me, that I felt like I had learned at such a later time. And I was like, my life would be so different had I known these things when I was younger. So I just started writing. I didn't make videos initially. I just started writing. And these 8 lessons came out, and it's just snowballed from there. It's been really incredible.
I think that's awesome. You just reminded me of something. So I'm going around asking people questions for my docuseries, I'm the Change. One of the questions I asked them are, if you could teach children all over the world 3 values, what would they be? So I want to ask you.
3 values.
Curious.
Okay, well, one of the biggest things that I teach is that just that we're magic, really. I think that children need to be reminded how amazing they are. I mean, really just that we each are unique and we play this integral role on the planet, you know, like as girls grow up, they start going through so many changes, and, you know, there's so many talks about self-harming, and I don't know, something happens as we grow up. It's like we end up hating ourselves a lot of times, and I just really feel like the most important thing for them to be reminded is that they play this incredible role that nobody else can play. Like nobody else can replace you. So that's the biggest thing that I remind these girls is that if you're here, then you have a purpose, and everything would just be out of balance without them. And another big thing that I teach them is that they have so much power. Like that's another thing that I feel like we don't learn growing up, is that, you know, we feel like we're kind of a victim of what happens to us, like whatever life throws our way, and that, you know, we're just
Blaming everybody else.
Yeah, or just have no control over these circumstances. And I teach the girls that while we may not be in control of what happens to us always, we're always in control of how we respond, how we react, how we decide to, you know, internalize this, you know, what am I going to make this mean? And so really just giving the power back to them, you know, at such a young age, and just to know, like, hey, you know, I can decide to see it this way, or I can decide to see it in a positive way. How can I, you know, find the blessing in this, the lesson in this? You know, just teaching them that, you know, everybody's in the same world, but because of how we think about it, it really makes a huge difference. So, and if I had to think of a third thing, Just that anything's possible, you know. I teach my girls that everything here, you know, besides what came with our planet, right? Every other material thing had to be a thought in someone's mind. You know, even our reality, our society, the rules that we have, the laws that we follow, the education, it's all because a bunch of people agreed upon that. And so it's just an agreed reality, and therefore there's so much power in that because we can agree on a new reality and we can make new changes, and it really starts with one person and one thought. So yeah, I think that would be very
I like that, because that's like really, that is very empowering.
Yes,
telling us like you can do anything, which is true. I think that we're not even just girls, like everybody. I don't think anybody's told that enough growing up. Like, we watch like Disney movies where they kind of like say like, yeah, there's magic, there's these cool things, but it's like a fairy tale. Like, that's not really reality, and we feel like in the real world that's not possible. Like, we have to follow a certain path. Society says like, this is what you do and that's it, and if you want anything outside of this box, like, you're crazy.
Right. And also with Disney movies, it's all about like somebody coming to rescue you.
Oh yeah, that's
where
true.
I'm all about, girl,
Rescue yourself.
you can rescue yourself. Nobody's coming. I mean, you can do it yourself, and you know, create the world around you and attract amazing people like just like Jessica and I. I mean, we didn't know each other. We connected through really wanting to share the positive things that are happening and making the world a better place. And so it's just magnetic, you know.
Yes, and then the sun just came out too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love that we're outside.
I know. I think there's some mosquitoes out here. I hope I don't get bit. We'll be okay. What else was I going to say? Because you were saying something before, and it was reminding me of something else. Oh, about changing yourself, right? Like, you can make a difference just by changing yourself. So that's actually another question I asked. Like, if we want to change the world, where do we start? And I haven't, I don't know, I might have the docuseries out by the time people are watching this, but I want to say so far about 80 to 90% of the responses I got was start with yourself.
Right.
Like, it's really, we know how to change it, but it's like, I feel we don't know where to start. Like, we know to start with ourselves, but people don't know how to start changing themselves.
I think what I would say is really, you know, we live in a world where we're constantly distracted. We're constantly moving. Well, at least here, you know.
Especially in New York.
Yeah, we're in New York right now, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot to.
That has been my experience. I think the biggest way to connect with yourself is really to get quiet and to get still, to kind of really go inside and listen. You know, if you pose yourself a question and you sit and really listen, I mean, 90 to 100% of the time, you already have the answer. I really think it's about cultivating that trust in yourself, that intuition, that internal knowing. You just come equipped with this wisdom that can never be taken away from you. I just think it's something we forget about, or we don't really learn about or cultivate. But when you sit and talk to people about it, I mean, there's so many instances of just getting that feeling of knowing something's wrong or something's off, or just knowing like that you want to take that job or go in that building or speak to that person. That I think if you connect with that part of yourself, that's like a really good place to start.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people, like when people ask me, like, I have this big decision to make, like, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, just meditate on it. Like, literally, just sit there. I know it sounds so simple, but it's usually that. Like, everything's really so simple, but I think we just overcomplicate it. Like,
Absolutely.
it's not that difficult.
Yes.
We make it difficult, especially women. Women make things way more difficult than men.
Hey, I don't know about that.
I think a little bit. I think we analyze a little bit. Right?
We do analyze.
I'm a Virgo and I analyze a lot.
Okay.
Not too much, but sometimes. Just a little bit. So for people, maybe for parents out there that are watching, or for, I guess, teens or young adults out there watching, how can we tell them to, like, empower themselves and to empower other people, inspire other people around them? What advice would you give them?
I think the biggest advice I would give is just start living from your heart. Start living your authentic truth. I think sometimes as parents we want to pretend that we have it all under control and we know everything, and a lot of times we we want our kids to do things that maybe we didn't do, or we want them to do better. I mean, I certainly feel that way, wanting them to have a better life than I did. But I realized that, you know, children, as much as we tell them, they really just learn by what they see and what's around them. And so the biggest thing is really just, for me, is like to admit that I'm human and that I have flaws, and really just always be in communication with them. And so if I'm trying to make myself a better person, I think that inspires everybody else around you to want to be a better person. Just be real and authentic. It really allows your child to see your human side and really make you a lot more relatable, you know, because sometimes you're so at different stages in your lives, you know, you forget what it's like to be a kid. They look at you as some person who couldn't possibly know what they're going through. But when you start opening up and sharing stories of your own childhood, it starts to make you so much more relatable. And then, you know, the sky's the limit once you have like an open communication going on and an open respect for each other. So
Yeah, because it's a way to connect, like
yeah,
stories that are similar to what they're dealing with at that age.
right, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that was awesome. Do you have anything that you would like to add? Bradley?
No, I just wanted to say, you know, thank you so much for this opportunity. I really love, you know, to connect with other people that are really trying to make a difference in the world. I think it's so important. You know, we're so inundated with all these horror stories. It's just so important to remember that there's so many good things happening out there. There's so many people that really want to help others. And so, yeah, I mean, if you want to learn more about what I'm doing, you can find me at lessonsformydaughters.com, and we're on Facebook and Instagram, always at Lessons for My Daughters.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to do this combo with me so we can film it.
I appreciate you for coming all the way
Thank you.
here.
I was going to ask you something really quick before you leave. Either way, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Oh, social entrepreneur. Now I know it. I knew it was in front of me.
Okay.
So I would consider you a social entrepreneur.
Yes.
I asked somebody this also who's also a social entrepreneur. I love featuring social entrepreneurs, by the way, because I think that's awesome. Because to be an entrepreneur is great. You want to make money, but you can also make money and make a difference.
Right.
I think a lot of people don't understand that. Can you maybe just like touch on it really quick for me?
And what it means to be a social entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Well, I would just say that it's really embarking on this incredible journey of really trusting yourself and believing in what you're feeling so strongly called to do. And then it takes a lot of courage, which is exactly what I was telling you yesterday when I saw you doing your pop-up shop in Brooklyn. You know, it takes a lot of courage to say, hey, you know, this is who I am. I'm like this one lady show right now. And this is what I believe in. And, you know, really enrolling other people in that possibility, it's really an incredible thing to do. I mean, I just think it's really important, and I love connecting with other people who are doing that.
Yeah, me too. I think it's important because, you know, there's a lot of entrepreneurs, but there's still a lot of social entrepreneurs, but not as much as entrepreneurs. And I think it's important that for the people who are really working to make a difference and make the world a better place, that we help each other. Like what we were saying yesterday, like we're supposed to be in this together. We're supposed to be, you know, holding each other's hand in a sense, I guess you could say. Like if you need help, we help. We're just supposed to connect with each other and help each other to get our missions and our purposes accomplished.
Right, because I think that goes back to realizing that we're all connected. And it's another thing that I like to teach the girls is really not to chase something that's going to make you the most money. It's really just to chase things that are truly going to make you feel happy and fulfilled, and then that money and abundance just
comes
naturally. You know, so if we, you know, went to the grocery store or the mechanic or anywhere, you know, the airport, and everybody was really in their service feeling like this is where I'm meant to be and I want to be in service of others, I think the world would be a better place. You know, people were just truly happy doing what they were doing, realizing that we all have a role here.
And your role is not the same as our role. Like you don't have to be a leader per se, because not everybody's that type of person.
Right,
Everybody wants to be a leader.
Yeah.
But you could still do something to make a difference. So I don't feel like you have to do like some crazy extravagant thing and start a company or do this. You could go and work for a company who's doing something that you really think is like super cool, like what she's doing. Like, you know, there's so many people out there doing amazing things, and that's exactly what she was saying, which I think is
be in
awesome.
service of others. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what role you're playing, I think that's the most important thing. If we saw everybody as connected to ourselves, I think, there would be a big shift on the planet.
Yeah, if we didn't see color, we didn't see gender, whatever, anything else.
Religion or status or
doesn't matter.
any sort of hierarchy. Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we are all human. We all fall, we all get up,
Right.
we all go through our different experiences. It's just part of life.
Absolutely.
But you're no better than we are. You guys are cool too.
You guys are amazing.
Yes.
Without you, there'd be no us, right?
That's true. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Really quick again, what your website and your social media?
lessonsformydaughters.com.
Put it right
So
here.
it's plural. Yes, and we're on Facebook and also Instagram. So please, I'd love to connect with you there and hear from you.
Yes. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys again next week. Thank you, Carmen, for being on the show. Appreciate you.
You're amazing.
Ooh, look who just came. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Peace and love always.
Yay.
This is being generous, giving from the heart and really having meaning behind it.